Every game is critical.
Dribble handoff to Malik. Can he do it again? Pocket pass back to Sabonis. The two-hand hammer. That could be a dagger. It's 115-107. Malik Monk with the assist pass for Domantas Sabonis.
Listen to all the thrilling moments beginning tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app. The Sacramento Kings 5-game homestand begins tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. The push for the postseason is here, and every game is critical.
Dribble handoff to Malik. Can he do it again? Pocket pass back to Sabonis. The two-hand hammer. That could be a dagger. It's 115-107. Malik Monk with the assist pass for Domantas Sabonis.
Listen to all the thrilling moments beginning tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
It's time for game night, getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket.
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome into game night right here, Sactown Sports, 1140, coming to you live from the Golden One Center. Another beautiful day in our Doco here in the capital city. Sun's out. People are outside enjoying life and getting ready for Kings basketball. Sacramento back at home after the 3-game road trip. They finish up 2-1. They lose a clunker in Washington. They come back with a big win in Orlando on Saturday. Come back tonight to take on a Philadelphia 76ers team that's been in L.A. over the weekend. They lost to the Lakers on Friday. They beat the Clippers last night. They're on a back-to-back up here in Sacramento tonight. That sets the scene. High Flyer, it's good to have you back. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a chance to catch that Kings victory on Saturday.
Yes, no doubt. Was happy that the Kings were able to bounce back. You know, when I look at this basketball, Scott, this basketball team, you know, I always see people out, you know, in the neighborhood, and they know who I am. They know what I do, and they always want to talk basketball.
Yep.
This has been the first year to where I have had to just kick back and say, I don't know.
That's fair.
I don't know. You know, they're asking me, what's going on with this basketball team?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought you said we're good. We are. We're a good basketball team. But why are we losing so many games? I don't know, but we're a good basketball team that we win some games and we lose some games. I'm like, the thing about it is that a good basketball team, you can't project great ideas or great expectations from a good basketball team. We're going to win some, we're going to lose some.
Fair enough. And I think it's more or less, why are we losing games, quote unquote, we should win? And how are we winning games that, quote unquote, we really shouldn't be winning?
We're a good basketball team.
Yeah.
And good basketball teams can manage to win some games that they don't supposed to win. And then again, a good basketball team is going to lose some games that you think that they should just walk out the gym with.
No question. Well, it was a good win in Orlando, no doubt about that. The Magic had won 5 straight, 10 of 12.
Yes.
And they got it done defensively. Again, winning 109-107. Malik Monk had a rare night where he just couldn't put anything in the ocean, as he described it. Ofer, but Keon Ellis was great starting. And the Kings found a way to win that game.
That's what good basketball teams do, Scott. You know, you know that you're in the belly of the beast when you're on the road. You know, it's very tough to manufacture wins on the road, but it's something special when you can go into another person's building, be able to play them competitively, and then at the end of the game, somehow, some way, be able to pull it out. That's what most teams try to do when you go on the road.
No doubt. And it was scary at the end. Orlando had a few looks at the end, either to
How many?
win it
3 or 4?
3 at least.
Yes.
And then the Kings with great defense on the out of bounds play with 2 seconds to go. It was a great decision by Mike Brown to bring in Alex Lynn, front the ball. They really had no look.
Right. And for the Kings' credit, it wasn't a textbook win, but it was a win that you really have to relish because you're playing a good basketball team.
Yeah.
Orlando's no joke.
Not at all.
Orlando is a
top 4 in the Eastern Conference.
Very competitive basketball team. So when you go in there, and this is the exact same thing, Scott, that we talk about when these teams come into Sacramento,
Yep.
They're looking at Sacramento as they are a good basketball team. But if we can manage to just go in there, be competitive, play competitive, and around that fourth quarter, we are still in the game. Anything can happen. Prime example what the Kings did to Orlando.
No doubt. And like we said, when the road trip started, if the Kings could go 2-1, successful road trip.
Yes.
Now, it wasn't the way we thought it would go, but it's still successful.
Right. And, that's where I had to drag myself up out of the gutter. Because that loss to Washington, bro, oh, my God, Scott.
Yes, it was tough to stomach.
That was the first time. I mean, that was worse to me than the 2 in Houston and the New Orleans loss.
Yeah.
I was in the gutter like, oh, my God,
what happened?
What's going on? You know what? Who do I got to go see? We got to make a change. This is unacceptable. So when we got the win against Orlando, I'm like, okay, at the end all be all, we are exactly where we need to be with the 2-1 win. I can exhale and try to, straighten my face up once again.
Yep. And so the Kings come into tonight 41-29. They were exactly tied with the Mavericks. Both teams have won 7 of their last 10, and both teams will be facing up twice right here this week.
Yes.
2 epic games tomorrow night and Friday night here at Golden One Center. But of course, we can't get too far ahead. The task at hand is Philadelphia tonight. The Kings are a half game behind the Suns at 42-29. The Suns have also won 7 of 10. They get the Spurs one more time, and then their remaining schedule, their last 10 games, is just hellacious. They play all teams that are in the playoff position. I think the lowest ranked team is Sacramento in terms of seeding right now at 7. So they have the toughest schedule left. The Kings also have a very difficult schedule remaining. They're in the top 5 right now in terms of remaining difficulty of schedule, but to the point we've been talking about all season long, it really hasn't seemed to matter or play out that way.
Not at all for this team. At some particular point, you might want to say you want to see a team fully manned with all their stars, because that's when the Kings show up and they play their best basketball. But, to what we're looking at tonight, Scott, it would be very, very nice for this team to be able to win this game because the 2 against Dallas is tight.
Yep.
That might make or break your season right there, those 2 basketball games. So tonight, you really want to go with a win under your belt and say, okay, fellas, now we got to dig in. But you're right. It all has to start tonight.
Yeah, it does. And obviously the theme of Mike Brown in the pregame presser today was the focus on defense and the job they did against the Magic. As you remember, when they came in the last time, it was that double overtime thriller. The Magic set a team-high mark for 25 threes in that game, lit it up from downtown. Wasn't the case on Saturday. They finished 10 of 35 from the arc, and clearly the Kings' three-point defense is getting better.
Not just the three-point defense, Scott, the overall defense. And I'm going to tell you what I see out there. Having Keon Ellis in the lineup, and, and I'm not going to say in the start lineup, but just having him out there on the floor, what it alleviates is that Keon's a very good on-ball defender.
Yes.
So really, you're not helping Keon at all. He doesn't need it. So what that does, De'Aaron, you stay at home. All right? Sabonis, you stay at home. Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes, you guys stay at home. It isn't no straight line drive to where you have to rotate, you have to scramble, you have to stunt and get back. You're in and out of position. No, you just stay right there on your guy. So, it makes the defense a lot easier, and it makes the defense more solid. You don't have to help.
No doubt. And obviously the combination of Ellis and Fox, they're 2 of the top 3 right now in the month of March in deflections in the league, getting steals, that combination in the backcourt really working.
it really works, God. But like I said, once again, D Fox, instead of him being a step and a half away from his man, you can be on your guy.
Yeah.
And now you can get deflections. You can get out in passing lanes. You don't have to worry about, okay, well, I got to hurry up and make this rotation. I got to get down to the middle because Domas want to rotate over to this guy. You don't have to worry about all that, Scott. And when you don't have to do that, the defense gets tighter. And both of those guys, very long, very lean, very athletic. I love when we have the Kentucky connection.
Yep.
And Keon on the floor.
Yeah.
All three of those guys. Now we in fast break mode.
Now we're moving.
We're in fast break mode.
And for Keon, obviously he was a little reluctant to shoot the ball late in the game at Washington on Thursday. Mike Brown talking about we've got to let it fly and not hesitate. Keon didn't hesitate at all on Saturday, had 4 3-pointers in the game. Obviously, Keegan was great from downtown, 6 of 7. The Kings certainly found their rhythm back again.
I'm glad that they're instilling that type of trust in Keon, because at certain particular parts of the game, we do get a little stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
When the Kings need to make a run or it's big play time, if you don't have Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox out there on the floor, everybody else elects to pass. Elects to set up.
Yep.
So you're going to need another guy that is very much willing to take that 3-point shot.
Yeah, and certainly on Saturday, Keon was. The Kings getting a much-needed road win, 109-107 against a very good Orlando Magic team. Our look back brought to you by Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now, again, one thing that was kind of glaring in the loss on Thursday at Washington, glaring also here on the game against Orlando, they were outscored big-time points in the paint, 56-32, but it didn't seem to have the same impact on Saturday. Obviously,
it didn't. It didn't because I think the Kings shot pretty decent, but they didn't shoot Herculean from 3. And Scott, there's other ways to win a basketball game than to just rely strictly on that 3-point shot. If you can utilize the steal game, the rebound game, the second chance, the 50-50 balls, getting to the free throw line, being able to score. That's one thing that the Kings have really stepped their game up, is being able to get to the free throw line and score at a very good clip.
18 of 21 from the line on Saturday. They also only turned it over 7 times.
Yeah, that's big. Not turning the basketball over, eliminating your opponent's chances of getting out, transition, and score.
No doubt. All right, our look back at the points in the paint brought to you by RT Painting, your reliable and trusted painter in the Sacramento market since 1998. As we mentioned, Monk had maybe his worst game as a King in his 2 years here. He was 0 of 11 from the field. Okay,
Maybe.
He did. I'm trying to be polite. Okay, he did. He even would admit that, obviously. He went on social media afterwards and pretty much said as much. The Kings bench, and again, it is obviously highly a result of Malik not scoring, but the Kings bench only had 7 points off that bench. Trey Lyles is hurt. We know Kevin Huerter is out indefinitely. Sasha Vezenkov is still not scheduled to play tonight. How much are you concerned going down the stretch about the Kings' ability to bring players off the bench at this point?
Yeah, now that's going to be something that they might have to be concerned about, because Malik is such a huge part of what they expect to get off the bench, because at any particular night with Malik Monk, you're going to get anything from 15 to 20 points from Malik a night.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what the Kings have been banking on. And then, when you had Kevin Huerter in the starting lineup and you would use other guys like Trey, you would use other guys, coming off the bench, you were able to get some scoring productivity. So now you take another guy into the starting lineup. Trey's hurt, so you're really only looking at Malik Monk and maybe Davion Mitchell.
Yeah.
Everybody else is kind of like up and down.
No, and it somewhat makes you kind of understand why Mike Brown continues to bring Malik off the bench, right? Because there just isn't a lot left if you don't have his firepower off that bench. Speaking of Malik, we didn't have a chance to talk on Saturday for game night with you being out for the weekend. Malik and Mike Brown jawed off at the end of that Washington game with 15 seconds to go. Malik went off the bench, walked back towards the locker room. We've seen that many times here. It seems much ado about nothing. You're a player, former player in this league. Do you make anything of that at all? Is it just truly nothing to pay attention to?
I honestly don't think so, Scott, because Mike Brown is the type to where, he says what he has to say, gets his point across, and then that's it. Malik knows that Mike Brown has him as his guy, and Mike Brown knows Malik is going to be that guy. So, in heated situations, yeah, you're trying to explain, you're trying to talk. Sometimes things get out of context, but that's just the competitiveness of both of them, man. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Okay. All right. That's a look back at Orlando. When we come back, we're going to look at this homestand, and this 4-game homestand could largely determine where the Kings are going to finish. Will they be in a play-in spot or a playoff spot? We'll get into all of that. We'll break down the Western Conference as well. It's Game Nights being brought to you by National Garage Door. Call today for your basketball special, 916-638-4554. Game Nights rolling along on a beautiful Monday night from Golden One Center. The windows are up. The people are enjoying the Doco area, and we are getting ready for some NBA basketball. The lone appearance of the Philadelphia 76ers. It's all coming up. Game night right here. Sactown Sports 1140.
Keep it here to Sactown Sports for the Sacramento Kings push toward the postseason.
Get analysis from our local shows, breakdowns from our Kings insiders, and all the thrilling moments from the G-Man.
Fox now on the left angle, gets to 2-point range, lobs it out to Herter, wide open. 3 to seal the deal. He's got the triple, and Fox has a career-high 16th assist.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, a.k.a. the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford, right here in Sacramento. You can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
Welcome back into Game Night right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marshall on with the High Flyer, Henry Turner. Kings and 76ers, Sacramento trying to even up the season series. Losers last time in Philly. And Henry, when we talk about bad losses, we don't usually talk about Philadelphia, but, the Kings got blown out in Philly. And, of course, that was without Embiid. Embiid won't be here again tonight. Kings have not won their last 10 games against Philadelphia. And Philadelphia's a good team, but still trying to figure that one out.
You know what? Philadelphia has a lot of guys that opposes a lot of tough matchups for us. I mean, I'm looking out there now, Cam Payne. Cam Payne is a guy that
Yeah.
every time he pretty much matches up against the Sacramento Kings, he has big numbers. Tobias Harris is another one who pretty much has his way with the Sacramento Kings. And, we're not talking about Maxey. Maxey has his way with everybody in the league.
Yeah.
He's a true all-star. And then, I was looking at Nick Batum. Nick Batum's another one that seems to figure out how to be very productive against our Kings. So, even though Joel Embiid is the motor that makes that team go,
Yeah.
when you have some other guys that opposes, big time, concerns, they can get something done.
No doubt. And we didn't even talk about Tobias Harris or Kelly Oubre, who you and I both love.
Yes, I said Tobias Harris.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Tobias Harris gets his in,
Yes.
and you know the way I feel about Kelly Oubre.
Yes.
Kelly Oubre pretty much is an X factor for a lot of basketball teams. I love his game. So they got players. They have enough talent to walk into arenas and still be able to do what they need to do, what they have to do.
Yeah, pretty impressive. They went against the Clippers last night, 121-107. The Clippers are still without Russell Westbrook. He's coming back this week, but that's an impressive win for the 76ers.
Oh, for sure. I mean, but you mean to tell me that the Clippers can't win without Russell Westbrook? They are still a very loaded and dangerous basketball club.
They are. They haven't been playing as well of
Right.
late.
I mean,
They're
but
5-5 in their last 10.
But that just goes to show you how well this Philadelphia team can play, once they get it moving.
Yeah, how about this for the Western Conference, just to point that out, as you look at the Clippers, 5-5. They have the worst record in the last 10 games of any team other than the Warriors in the top 10. And if you included the Rockets, who are 9 of their last 10, you could say they have the second worst record of the top 11 teams in the Western Conference in the last 10 games, and they're 500. That tells you how competitive every team is right now and how much they're going for it here down the stretch run.
I mean, Scott, is going to be tight. You're going to need every little game that you can get, every little ounce of advantage that you can get.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of Maxey, he's having an all-NBA type of year. He certainly was an all-star. Is there any question that he's going to be the most improved player this year?
At all. I mean, he's really come alive since they've given him, the key to the guard spot. Joel Embiid is still the guy, but they gave Maxey the key to it when they let James Harden walk, and this dude has really delivered for them.
Another Kentucky guy, as all these Kentucky players just continue to thrive in the league. They're not winning in the NCAA tournament of late, but a lot of great players in the league right now.
Yeah, they took an L early, didn't they?
They did.
They got them up out of there.
I tell you what, and that's what John Calipari's talking about. He's got all these one and dones, and obviously Kentucky's had more number one draft picks in the last decade than any other team in college basketball. But in terms of how it's worked out for the tournament over the last 4 years, not real well for the Kentucky Wildcats. Tobias Harris, you mentioned him. He's another guy who's really stepped up with Embiid out, and he's another just physical presence for the 76ers.
Tobias Harris is a prototypical small forward. 6'8", 6'9", has nice size on him, can handle the basketball, has a low post game. Tobias Harris is everything that Harrison Barnes is to us.
Mm-hmm.
To where you can utilize him pretty much everywhere. He can give it to you on the three-point line. He can get downhill. I've liked his game since he played with the Clippers. He was a legitimate all-star. And then once he went to Philadelphia, seemed like he became the number 2 guy or number 3 guy. But still, he was an alpha when he was with the Clippers.
Yep. So the Sixers come in, they're 39-32. They are tied with the Heat, same record for the 7-8 spot. That would be the play-in game between Miami and Philadelphia. And we talk about how good the play-in would be on the western side. That eastern side matchup between Miami and Philadelphia in a first-round 7-8 would be pretty good, too. And the Pacers right now are 40-32. So, they could easily fall. There's a great race between the playoff and play-in line on the eastern side also.
Oh, yeah. It's starting to ramp up. It isn't tight as far as what we got going.
No.
But, yeah, their season is starting to ramp up, man. Everybody is trying to make those last little pushes.
Yeah, no, everybody is for sure. And obviously the Sixers, they would have been a top 3 team, no doubt, if Embiid were still healthy.
Oh, for sure.
And, if Embiid can come back, we'll see how far they can go. We're still trying to figure out on his timeline. How far can the Sixers realistically get if Joel does not come back this year? Can they win a round?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Joel is too much of what they do. Right now they're in survival mode, so they got guys stepping up. But when you start coming down to having to be able to, play against these playoff secure teams, you're going to need that extra push, that extra firepower, and I don't think they have it.
Yeah, I don't think they do either, but you got to give them a lot of credit. They have certainly played very hard without Joel Embiid. Nick Nurse in his first year has done a great job, and let's give some kudos to our man Bobby Jackson, part of that Philadelphia coaching staff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and it's so crazy because it's so many connections in Philly with the Sacramento Kings. I looked at that. You got Bobby Jackson down there. You got Brian Gates down there. You got Rico Hines down there. And you got Ala Abdul-Nabi on the call.
That's right.
All of these guys got, Kings ties. So, yeah, Philly has a lot that, the Kings have to offer.
No doubt. Abdul-Nabi going back a ways with the Kings, going back to the 90s. Your era. Did you guys play together at all?
Yeah, me and Alo teammates, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yep. I remember interviewing him for training camp one year, and I remember he had a big thing of chew in his mouth. That's why I remember about Abdul-Nabi.
Kept it. We used to practice with it in his mouth.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. Ala was on the same team, man.
Hope he didn't take an elbow anywhere and had to swallow that.
Hey, you know what? He might have, but he was that guy, man. Ala was a good dude, man. He's still a good friend to this day.
Good dude indeed. All right, we'll take the break. When we come back, we'll go around the league. We'll get you caught up on all the other news and notes, other games going on tonight. Game night being brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience how the power of family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. More game night coming to you live from the Golden One Center right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Norman, we need to pause this surgery. What, doctor? Because Xfinity Mobile just got even better. Now you're automatically connected to Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig while you're on the go. Plus, existing Xfinity customers can buy one unlimited line and get one free for a year.
Visit XfinityMobile.com to learn more. Offer ends 6/21. Restrictions apply. Existing Xfinity Internet service and 2 new unlimited lines required. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabytes of usage per line. Data thresholds may vary. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports.
Welcome back in the game night right here, Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall on with the high flyer, Henry Turner, coming to you live from the Golden One Center. Beautiful day in downtown Sacramento as we get you ready for the Kings and the 76ers. Tip 7 o'clock. G-Man with the call. Kings Live pregame coming your way at 6:30. And high flyer, there's a look at Abdul Nabi, who is looking very dapper today, well dressed.
Oh yeah, always, man. You know, suit and tie. When you're down there on TV, man, that's the standard attire.
Good to see him. He's entertaining a couple Philly fans who happen to be in the arena already here tonight. Game night brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbfstockton.com. In our next segment, we're going to break down Kings and Sixers. We'll look at the injury report as well. Let's go around the league right now, get caught up on everything going on. Yesterday, the Warriors in action. They were in Minnesota, a hotly contested game. They led through 3, ended up losing 114-110. Steph Curry had 31 in the loss, only played 30 minutes, and this has become kind of a bit of a media story. I don't know if there's anything to it whatsoever, but I'm interested to get your thoughts. Steve Kerr was asked why Steph Curry only played 30 minutes in a critical game that was close down the stretch. Steve Kerr kind of took a little umbrage with the question. Quote, "We can't expect to just ride Steph game after game after game. We've put the burden of this franchise on his shoulder for 15 years. We can't expect him to play 35 minutes. If you want to say that him playing 30 minutes instead of 32 is a difference between a win and a loss, I totally disagree with that. We're trying to win the game, and we're trying to keep him fresh too." So, lot to chew on there because Steph came out afterwards in his post-game conference and said he's ready to play whatever minutes are necessary to win games down the stretch.
I'm pretty sure, but, I see what Coach Kerr is saying, that, you just can't ride Steph like an old mule because, you're going to break him down. So other players have to step up. And, and that organization has always had other guys to step up.
Yeah.
So, you might still be wanting more out of Clay, want more out of Draymond, want some more out of Moody. Some of the complementary players, Kuminga, GP2, so at the end of the day, you don't have to play Steph 40 minutes in order to win. But he's saying in the same breath, we have to keep him fresh for the long haul. Maybe they still think that they can get this thing done from wherever they're going to be seated.
Sure. And they do have 5 games in 7 nights, so that's the backside of it. Now, here's what Steph Curry said, quote, "I played the whole fourth quarter against Indiana. It didn't work out. This, meaning the game against Minnesota, didn't work out either. We've got to find somewhere in the middle." So Steph probably wasn't real thrilled that he didn't play more fourth quarter minutes in that game.
Probably so. I mean, right now, Scott, that team is drawn desperately from straws.
Yeah.
They're trying to find anything that they can do to keep that dynasty alive. But here's the last dance.
Yeah.
This is the last dance for those guys. It's sad to see it come, but it has to. All good dynasties come to an end.
Well, here's the deal. The Warriors are only 1 game ahead of the Rockets right now. The Rockets winning again. They're 500 now on the year. They're 35-35. The Warriors are just 36-34. The inconceivable could happen where the Warriors don't even make the play-in.
Oh, no doubt. It's definitely there. So at this particular point, they just like us, though. It's tight all the way up to us, a team that's trying to fight for that 6th spot, to where every game is a must-win game if you're trying to solidify yourself for these playoffs.
No doubt. And obviously, the Rockets, what they're doing right now is remarkable, and it's even more remarkable because we were here when Sengun went down
right
with the ankle turn, and missing the rest of the year. And from there, this Rockets team, with arguably without their best player, has gone on this incredible run.
And you know what's crazy about that is that, the coach has got his players believing they can win. It's no pressure on those young guys because they're like, hey, we don't supposed to be here anyway. So all we're going to do is we're going to come out and we're going to create havoc. If we don't make it, so what? No pressure. But hey, we get to come out, we get to play free and loose. And when that happens, we start playing some of our good basketball. And when that happens, look out.
Yep, no doubt. How about the Lake Show last night? They put up 150 in a win against the Pacers, 150 to 145.
Wow. Impressive. Impressive. That shows that they still have a little oomph. It might not be much, but they still have a little oomph too. And they don't want to be in that situation to where they're looking at Houston run up their back also.
That's true. The Lakers right now are 39-32, so they do have a 3-game cushion in the loss column, 4 in the win column. Not that the Rockets couldn't catch them, because they could, but I still think the Lakers are eyeing a potential, 7 or 8 seed. It's not 100% inconceivable they could get into a top 6. They're 3 games back in the loss column of the Suns, Kings, and Mavericks. The one thing they don't have against us, of course, is the tiebreaker. So
right.
we're 4 games up on them. With only 12 games to go, it feels like it's not possible, but the Lakers again went through the play and then got into the Western Conference Finals.
Right. It's still there for the taking. And you know what, really, when you look at both of those teams have the mindset of we can go through anybody. Mm-hmm. All we have to do is get there. Get there, because if we get there, we get the click in, we can deal with anybody that's put in front of us.
All right. Other results from yesterday: the Bucks blowing out the Thunder at home, 118-93. The Bucks now have held 11 teams under 100 points since Doc has come there. They're 11-0 in those games.
You talk about making a change in culture.
Yeah.
There it is right there. Now, I don't know about have all of that been able to equate to wins, but it's definitely changed their mindset on a defensive end. And when you look at a basketball team that's championship or bust, and you start saying, okay, their defense is starting to be where it needs to be, that puts them in a very good spot.
It does. And, of course, the Thunder are only half game behind Denver for the best record in the Western Conference. Are we taking them seriously enough right now?
You better. You better. They're a Cinderella team. But I'll tell you what, they're a Cinderella team that looks like they refuse to turn back into a pumpkin at midnight. They just keep going and keep playing good basketball.
Yep. The Kings are going to see OKC one more time there before it's all said and done. Let's look at the games going on tonight. It's a busy night in the association. Games currently in progress. The Cavaliers are leading the Hornets 106-85. Hawks trailing at home against Boston 92-83. Boston still with the best record in the league at 57-14. The Knicks, trying to secure a first-round home playoff series, are blowing out the Pistons right now, 86-56. Nets trying to hold on to a play-in spot in that top 10. Are losing in Toronto right now, 67-66. Bulls also in the play-in, losing at halftime to the Wizards at home, 53-49. The Rockets, as we mentioned, winners of 9 of their last 10 at 35-35, but right now trailing to the Blazers at home at halftime, 51-47.
Wow. I'll tell you what, the New York Knicks story is a bright one, isn't it?
It sure is. Doing it without Randall, and Anobi's was hurt for a while.
Losing a big-time player for you, your number one guy, and still able to go out and manufacture wins, man. That's huge.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson, I don't think will get first-team All-NBA, but I think he'll get second.
Yes. The way he's playing.
Luka, is definitely going to be first-team All-NBA. And then who else is guarding the backcourt?
You know one thing, SGA?
Yes.
The one thing that I hate about Luka is that he cries and he whines so much. And the league really awards him for that. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. He
does have more technical fouls than any other player in the league right now.
I don't like his game, but I have to respect it.
Yeah.
He gets the job done, but he is the biggest crybaby I've ever seen in the NBA. And that's saying a lot.
That is saying a lot because you've seen a lot of crybabies.
Oh,
in your
no
day.
doubt. I mean, he cries more than anybody I've seen in a long time.
Who was the biggest crybaby of your era?
My era?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you couldn't cry in my era.
No, but I mean, who whined the most? There had to be a couple whiners still, right?
Probably Magic.
Okay.
Probably Magic.
Okay.
Because every time, if Magic missed the layup, he got fouled. We wanted the ball back. If nobody was down in the lane and he missed the shot, no, I was fouled, man. Give me the ball back.
All right.
He didn't whine about it, but he definitely showed his displeasure.
All right. At the half, the Suns are leading the Spurs. As we said, this is really Phoenix's last quote-unquote very winnable game as they're leading at the half. But it's only a 3-point lead, and they're in San Antonio. We know they lost the first 2 games of the year to the Spurs. So maybe San Antonio can do us a favor and beat the Suns at home tonight.
You know what? I'm going to say this. I'm pretty sure San Antonio's like, y'all going to stop looking at us like we're just some kids out here. You can just walk up in here and win this basketball game. We still are a good basketball squad, and we got a freak of nature on our team.
Yeah.
So you're just not going to be able to walk in there and think you're going to always win.
Well, I think we found that out when they came here last time.
Hey, telling you, real close, wasn't it?
It was real close. 7 straight, including that Sabonis steal and jam the other way that gave the Kings the 2-point win. Just underway, Grizzlies and Nuggets. Denver leading 4-0 in that one. Early on, Jazz and Mavericks. So Dallas coming in on a back-to-back as well tomorrow night. And it's interesting. And again, I don't have any explanation. My guess is the way they split these games between Dallas and Sacramento Tuesday, Fridays, because it's a national TV game tomorrow and spreading it out that way. It's really unusual to have a homestand with the same team for 2 games with 2 days in between.
Right. For that team to be here that long.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those things to where we're really going to find out how the rubber hits the road because you got to play them twice.
Yep.
And after those 2 games, you got to really look at the standings. You can say, okay, where are we now?
Hey, if one team can win both games, that could be the decisive factor.
Yes.
At the end of the year. So we've got all those games. And, of course, Kings here tonight, Philadelphia. Also Pacers and Clippers should say they're back at home. The Pacers, same building, different team. Clippers and Pacers both on a back-to-back as well. All right, when we come back, we'll focus in on Kings and 76ers. We'll give you the injury report. I am told that the commish is in the house tonight as well. Adam Silver's here.
Yeah, I heard it's the Silver sighting.
Yeah. I wonder if he'll be here tomorrow night, too, for the national TV game. Maybe he'll be back here back-to-back. Who knows?
He might be.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Interesting.
I'll tell you what, he seems to be at a whole lot of Philadelphia games. What's up with that?
Yeah, what's going on there?
I mean, I'm going to have to ask you, are you a low-key Philly fan?
You going to throw that out there?
I might.
Throw that conspiracy out there?
When I see him, I'm like, hey, Chris, every time I see you on TV, you had a Philly game. What's going on?
Hey, why don't you get the commish up here? We'll interview him. The next
you know what? I wish I could. Where you at? Let me go talk to you.
Good idea. All right, when we come back, we'll get you the injury report as well. Game night, and it's being brought to you by the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. If you have a heart of service, you want to do something good in our community, one way you could serve and give back is help a kid that is in need of a mentor outside the household. Give Big Brothers and Big Sisters a call, 916-646-9300, or visit bbbs-sac.org to learn all about becoming a volunteer mentor. More of Game Night next, right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
The Sacramento Kings 5-game homestand begins tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. The push for the postseason is here, and every game is critical.
Dribble handoff to Malik. Can he do it again? Pocket pass back to Sabonis. The 2-hand hammer. That could be a dagger. It's 115-107. Malik Monk with the assist pass for Domantas Sabonis.
Listen to all the thrilling moments beginning tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients meet us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with insulation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Ball four, take your base. The only thing worse than a pitcher running out of gas on the mound is your old phone running out of storage for your photos in the stands. Goodbye, home run! Switch to Verizon and get a great deal on a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage for all the ballpark pics you want. Just trade in your iPhone, any model, in any condition, so you'll feel like you're winning, even when your team's not. Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a great deal on iPhone 15 Pro with unlimited Ultimate and get iPad and Apple Watch SE with eligible service plan. Only on Verizon.
Marcus is a connoisseur of anything that's free, so he was happy to read the disclaimer on TurboTax Free Edition.
Roughly 37% of taxpayers qualify. Form 1040 and limited credits only. See how at TurboTax.com. That's me.
File your taxes 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your max refund guaranteed. See if you qualify to file for free at TurboTax.com. See max refund guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Welcome back to the game night right here, Sactown Sports, 1140. Scott Marshall along with the high flyer, Henry Turner. Getting you ready for Kings and Sixers. Taking a look at tonight's injury report. It's brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm, providing justice for you since 1975. If you're injured, call the Arnold Law Firm at 916-777-7777. On the report tonight for Sacramento, Sasha Vezenkov, who was listed as questionable, he is out again, will not play with that ankle and still trying to figure out when he might be back. We were kind of led to believe he might return during the road trip, high flyer, and we still have not seen him. So.
Yeah, I know. It was a lot of speculation saying that, he was going to be at least in uniform and available to play, but we still haven't seen that.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if we see him on this homestand. And again, it just begs the question as you get so late into the year, is Sasha a guy you can bring back at any point in a critical game or in the playoffs?
Right. And then, how are you going to implement him back in? It's not one of those things to where you have a lot of time for failure or a lot of time to try to figure things out. Right about now, if it isn't figured out by now, you lose it.
Yeah, and it makes it tough because that Kings bench is thin. No Trey Lyles, no Kevin Huerter as well.
Right. And you would think that he could be a guy that would be able to come off the bench and give you some sort of scoring productivity off the bench.
Absolutely. For the Sixers, now Kelly Oubre is listed as questionable. I didn't notice if he was working out or not.
I have not seen him out on the floor.
Yeah, Kyle, maybe you can check that back for us as we're going through the entire report. Robert Covington is out. We know Joel Embiid continues to be out with that meniscus tear. We'll see if he returns before the end of the year, potentially for the playoffs. Anthony Melton's out with his back. So the Sixers come in a little banged up as well on a second night of a back-to-back. That's your injury report brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm. Again, providing justice for you since 1975. If you're injured, call the Arnold Law Firm, 916-777-7777. I wonder, are there any Luka fans in the Arnold Law Firm with all those sevens? Of course, Luka wears 77.
It might be something to that, Scott.
We'll ask that tomorrow night. Kyle, I'm sorry, did not hear you on Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre is out, so that certainly hurts the 76ers' chances tonight.
Yeah, another guy, long, lean, plays defense, can stretch the floor, can knock down the three, and he's a terror in transition.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's another guy that they're going to miss.
So the Kings playing a team on a back-to-back, missing a lot of pieces.
Don't matter.
Sounds scary.
Don't matter.
Sounds scary to me.
Don't matter. You have to come out and take care of business once again.
Yeah. Now, here's the other thing. Kings' first game back after a road trip. Eighth time this year.
Right.
5 or 7 games. They're 2-5 on the first night back after a road trip.
Why you got to break up them old bad stats?
I hate that.
Oh my
I
God.
hate that. Truth doesn't lie,
Yeah, I understand, and then, numbers are solid, but still, this team has got to start winning games, period.
Yes.
And especially the ones that they're supposed to win.
Yep.
Scott, our margin for error is too small right
zero.
now. I'm really, if you ask me, it's at zero. It's at minus, if you ask me. But they got to take care of business.
They do. All right. Now, one thing that is a certain positive, which we're looking forward to Sabonis breaking tonight, is that consecutive double-double in a single season. He got his 53rd against Orlando to tie Kevin Love in the game on Saturday, the longest single-season streak since the ABA-NBA merger in 1976. He can set the record tonight, High Flyer.
Let me tell you, the only thing that's going to stop that man from making that record is they have to keep him at home tied to his bed. If he steps out there on that floor, he is a walking double-double. I don't think that's in jeopardy at all.
I don't think it is at all either. It's been such an incredibly consistent season for Sabonis, an amazing accomplishment that he's pulling off. And it's not just all the double-doubles. He's close to breaking the franchise record, Jerry Lucas, which would be 55 over 2 seasons. But it's just the triple-doubles, 23 of them on the year. We were talking about this on Saturday a little bit with Jason Ross. Do you think this is the best individual season in Kings history? How would this rank to maybe, I think the closest comparison is C. Webb when he had those MVP-like years in the early 2000s.
Yeah, very close. And, the difference in it, Scott, is that those years when Webb was doing his thing, the Kings were loved.
Yeah.
The Kings were loved. The Kings had big time respect.
Yep.
The Sacramento Kings jersey was the number one selling jersey in the NBA at that particular time. So, that weighed heavy back in those days. It's a little different now. I mean, teams still look at the Kings as okay, but they were looked at as a dominant basketball team back then.
Yeah, no argument with that. 24 triple-doubles for Sabonis. And it's just been incredible to watch him perform night in, night out. And this Kings version, to your point, maybe it doesn't meet up to every expectation yet of that team from yesteryear. But certainly in terms of what Sabonis is doing, it's very close.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, when you talk about just the individual numbers, I've always talked about this dude and, the all-star snub and everything else. If you compare him just numbers only, I mean, any other player, they will be the darlings of the NBA. If Anthony Davis had the numbers that Sabonis has, he would be MVP candidate up there at number one.
No doubt. And Sabonis is going to be all NBA this year.
He better be.
He'll be one of the top 3 teams.
He better be.
Yeah, I would think so. I would be shocked if he wasn't. All right. Philadelphia, the matter at hand. As we were talking a little bit during the break, Kyle Lowry, we can't forget about him with the 76ers, a proven winner. He's a Philly guy, played at Villanova, a tough guy to have on your team.
Yes, Philly has a lot of complementary pieces. Understanding that the big dog is out, but they got some fine, guys to go around him. Embiid is the meat, but they got some nice potatoes, macaroni and cheese, and rice and gravy around them. They can get it done.
Yep, no doubt. All right, Tyrese Maxey tonight. How do the Kings try to slow him down?
Oh, Max get it done. I mean, he's a guy that can score outside in. He's a high-energy guy. They're just going to try to stay in front of him and make it as tough as possible. I'm not saying that they're going to be able to stop him, but you just don't let him have his way and try to make every last single shot be contested.
Yeah. Is it a Keegan special early on, or is it a Keon Ellis special?
I think it's more so a Keon Ellis.
I do too. I would agree with that. I think Keon probably is the best matchup against Maxey, size-wise and speed-wise.
Right. That's going to be the thing because the dude is fast. So can Keegan stay in front of him?
Yeah.
Yes, but I think Keon will be the best as far as staying in front of him and sliding with him stride for stride.
Yeah, and maybe Keegan on Tobias Harris then?
That'll work.
Yeah, I think that's probably where it goes from there. So, all right, any final thoughts for tonight, High Flyer?
Take care of business, man. I mean, we need this game. There's no room for error. Come out and play Kings basketball, and let's get this win.
Let's do it. All right, the G-Man's in his seat. You know what that means, High Flyer?
Be ready to go.
It's time for me to be quiet and get off the stage because we're ready for Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross will be coming in. You stay.
Yes, sir.
G-Man's ready to join. We'll get you ready. It's Kings and Sixers tonight, the start of the 4-game homestand. 2 huge games in the middle with Dallas, but we can't forget Philadelphia tonight, Utah on Sunday.